Hi, boys and girls. How are you today? It is Wednesday and it is gloomy out. And it's probably a good day to do some reading. Are you guys keeping up on your work? Are you doing reading at your house? I hope you are. Today I'm going to continue on with our stories. The Stories Julian Tells. And yesterday I read to you and finished reading the chapter about the catalog cats. And in that chapter, somebody requested something. Do you guys remember? Yeah, Huey, he requested the catalog cats come from the place where the catalog is made. So we'll see if that happens. In this chapter, I'm going to have you guys listen and do some basic comprehension questions, which is questions, to explain what you understand. I'm going to give you 3 questions, so you can get your journal out and get ready for that. The first question is going to be about Julian. Julian ends up going outside at night and he's imagining some things in his mind. And I'm going to have you guys describe what he's imagining in his mind. The questions are right here so you can see them. You can also pause the video to write down the questions. The second question is what Julian thinks was the best thing about the garden. So we're going to learn in the chapter what they plant in their garden, and in the end, what does Julian think was the best thing in the garden? And the last question was something it's not really in the chapter. You have to think about it and kind of come to your own ideas. But how was the boys' summer? So you're going to be thinking about those. All right, and we're going to continue on with our story. We are on chapter number 3, and it's called Our Garden. I should have made a vocabulary card. Garden. Garden is our word today. There it is. Garden. So the boys are, I have that word. Garden. So the boys are going to be talking about their garden. We planted tomatoes, squash, onions, garlic, peas, pumpkins, and potatoes. Besides that, we planted 2 special things we saw in the catalog, which were, I wonder what they planted that was special. For me, it would be sunflowers. I'll show you what it says in the story. What did they plant? Genuine, which means real, corn of the ancients. Ancients are people that lived a long time ago. It grows 20 feet high. Wow. Harvest your corn with a ladder. Surprise your friends and neighbors. Yeah, if I had corn that was 20 feet high, I would have to get a ladder. That's really, really tall. That's like 2 stories tall. And this is the second thing that they got that was special. Make a house of flowers. Our beans grow 10 feet tall. Grow them around string. Wow. Make a beautiful roof and walls out of their scarlet blossoms. Scarlet is sort of like a pinkish color, reddish color. Huey was the one who wanted the house of flowers the most. I wanted the giant corn. My father said he wasn't sure he wanted either giant corn or a flower house. And if we wanted them, we would have to take care of them all summer by pulling weeds. We said we would. When you have a garden, you have to pull weeds because weeds will try to take over the sunlight and they try to take over the soil and they try to grow just as much as the plants grow. So if you want a good garden, you have to get out there and you have to get the weeds out. It's a lot of work. We planted everything one Saturday. We worked all day long, getting the ground smooth and even and laying the little seeds down in rows. The whole time I felt the catalog cats were there, swirling their tails in the air. We finished just before the sun went down. My mother gave Huey and me baths. She said, we were darker than the garden. What does that mean? They were darker than the garden. I think they were dirty. Needed to get cleaned. She said we were dirty enough that she could grow plants in our hands and our knees. Oh my goodness. They must have been really busy working in that garden, getting all dirty. It's kind of how I get when I'm outside working. When we were clean, we had supper with chocolate pie for dessert and then went to bed. Huey went to sleep right away, but I didn't. I put my jacket on over my pajamas and went out the back door to the garden. So now Julian's going outside, and I'm wanting you guys to tell me what Julian is thinking and what he's imagining when he goes outside. Draw what he imagines. So I put my jacket on over my pajamas and went out the back door to the garden. In the dark, it looked as if the garden was sleeping. I lay down on the grass. It was cold and a little wet. I looked up. I thought all the catalog cats were sitting on the roof of the garage, staring at me. Over the top of the garden was the moon, a little moon with sharp horns. There were birds rustling in the dark branches of the trees. What is Julian imagining? Can you see it in your mind's eye? Be thinking as I read. The seeds were dreaming, I thought. I put my mouth next to the ground, and I spoke to the seeds very softly. Grow. And you corn seeds, grow as high as the house. What is Julian imagining? I'm going to read it one more time. I looked up. I thought all the catalog cats were sitting on the roof of the garage, staring at me. Over the top of the garage was the moon, a little moon with sharp horns. There were birds rustling in the dark branches of the trees. The seeds were dreaming, I thought. I put my mouth next to the ground and I spoke to the seeds very softly. Grow. And you corn seeds grow as high as the house. In just 1 week, the seeds did start to grow, and we watered them and weeded them. By the end of the summer, we had vegetables from the garden every night. And the corn did grow as high as the house. Imagine that. Although there wasn't very much of it, and it was almost too tough to eat. The best thing of all was Huey's house made of flowers. And after a while, the flowers dropped their petals and turned into beans, and we ate the beans for supper. So what Huey made was probably the first house anyone ever played in and then ate. Catalog cats are strange, but a house you eat for dinner is stranger yet. That is the end of our chapter. So I want you guys to respond. I hope you guys are enjoying the story so far. What does Julian think is the best thing of all? And was it the corn? Or did that surprise you? What did he think was the best thing of all, and why? How do you think their summer was? And what was Julian imagining when he went outside? I would love if you guys answered that. And then maybe somewhere you draw a picture of one of the scenes so far from this chapter. Maybe on this page. Maybe you can draw what Julian was imagining. And I'll tell you what. I'll show you the picture in the story tomorrow when I read. But you take time to draw something from this chapter. Make your own picture in your mind. And we'll continue on tomorrow. I hope you have a nice day. By the way, this is my bedroom. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.